Was your head smaller back then? Okay. Hi.
Was whose head smaller back then?
Laura's making fun of me. And my big head.
Well, okay, I could see her doing that. I could make fun of your big head. But, Monkey, I believe you just committed on our podcast to wear a mertail.
Hey, somebody has to get me the mertail. Yeah. I have no problem doing that. That'd be fantastic.
Show, as a host.
On the show? No. It's a photo shoot, separate. Not just hopping out into the show.
Oh, no, I think you need to come onto the show with that.
Be a Murby. Oh, she's not in the room anymore.
She
can't hear you. She couldn't hear you. You're going through the headset.
Thinking this has to have to happen.
I'm willing to do whatever promotional items within reason anybody wants to try to put me through. Think of it like late night talk show. Within reason. I do get some veto. Come on. But think of the late night talk show hosts.
Your veto, right?
Oh dear. My producers. Okay. But you see what I'm saying? In order to create an audience that's engaging and wants to log in for the personalities, we have to start doing things that are sometimes about us, or rather challenging.
We're doing whole months of us. It's just we need to try and get the. I'm not sure what we want to do for the Nugget months. We could just, we've got 7 or 8 nuggets in the can right now that we just need to edit. We can probably pull those out. Yeah. We have ones from the show last weekend, and then we have 2 of them from Trevor on the Diablo show. And we figured might as well just start pulling those out for that month.
Yeah, absolutely.
But is Trevor going to keep being a part of the Nuggets? Because he hasn't done anything since then. And I've even sent out invitations if you know anybody we can WebEx it or...
Yeah. I don't know. I have no information on that. I can reach out and see if he's still wanting to do...
Before we introduce his podcast as Nugget host in January, we might want to find out if he still wants to do it, because if he doesn't, we may need to come up with another podcast.
Yeah.
Because, there's no point in putting that one out there if he's not going to continue.
Exactly.
So.
Anywho? Still there? Or did you crash? Welcome back.
I don't know what's going on with my computer. I even rebooted. It's the software that keeps crashing. It's still recording, so that's good. I just started immediately when we got on.
I'm glad it keeps recording, even when the host has to log back in.
This is Effing Foundation. I'm going to get Todd to log in, and I'll make him a host, too. Because I keep crapping out, and I don't know if there's some weird update that happened with the Mac.
I saw a OS update, but I have not installed it yet because we had these things coming on. I guess I could because I'm using my phone now for this one.
Yeah, I can't be on from the phone with this one, so excellent. Here comes Kitt. This is a pretty new organization, so very exciting. Join by browser because I'm going to make you the host as well.
We are number 3 on iTunes Sexuality.
Nice.
Let's see here. Let me click on that and take a look. 151 reviews. Something that changed since we moved over to the new hosting service was that we now see the time for each episode.
Cool.
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you, Todd.
All right.
You can mute. I just need somebody to make sure the meeting's still happening when I keep kicking out.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because you know what happens when I'm not under control? I just run around the room with my hair on fire.
Wildly.
Ah!
Ow, my ear.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, I'm gonna mute this thing, but I'll be here if you guys need me. Shout.
Thanks.
Okay.
I'm still listening.
Oh boy. So yeah, the time for each show now shows up in iTunes, whereas when it was under FeedBurner, that information was not being sent.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know we're logging it in a separate database, but that's more for our own thing. I mean, I guess I can start doing these on my tablet if I need to. It's just nice to be able to do them on the Mac. Ugh, there's a mosquito in here. Are you there, Kitt?
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey.
We were just chatting.
Kitt, you snuck in on me.
Still online. Perfect.
Oh, no problem. I was just like, oh, well, they're busy. I'll just.
Oh no, we were.
I'll just wait.
No.
We were just chatting while waiting. So
we're just taking a look at things.
I'm Lee. I'm the one who's been talking to you, and Monkey's going to be your co-host.
Hello.
I'm going to mute myself for this once we start, but I'm also going to warn you that I seem to be my program keeps crashing. So just keep talking if you see me go.
Okay.
And I'll come back and try and log back in. I've rebooted my computer and it's still crashing. So we'll see how that goes. This is anywhere from 5 to 8 or 10 minutes. It's just a nugget. It's a spotlight for our month on December for it's what are called our Giving Back Month. It's the first time we've done it, and this is going to air roughly December 14th.
Awesome. Well, like I say, thank you all so much for the invitation. I'm really grateful.
I admit it's the name. The Effing Foundation just sounds too
Yeah,
awesome.
there was a big part of it there. Sex positivity kind of leans into our space. So, we got to reach out and hug.
That's really what tipped it over.
Yay!
So, Monkey is goofy, and we try and keep it lighthearted and fun. I don't know if you've listened to any of our podcasts.
I'm cranky in an ass.
Yeah. Anyhow, so he's going to, open the show, then he's going to introduce you. We want you to basically start with a little bit about what your organization is.
She just fell off. So, what your organization is,
hey guys,
how you got started. Hi, Todd.
Hello. Hello.
Oh, hi. I'm Kitt.
Hi, Kitt. I'm Todd. I just wanted to let you know Lee did drop off, and she's trying to get back on. So, she's there. It's coming. Carry on.
Okay.
So we want to find out how you got started, what your organization is about. If you have anything to promote, how you got. Basically, the progression is how you got. Introduce yourself, how you got started, what the organization does, and then if you have any events coming up that we can talk about, as well as we'll get to how people can find you and how they can help.
Got it.
Pretty much those are the high points. Other than that, we're kind of free over the next 8 minutes to chat and talk about, get all those points in, but also kind of have a little fun with it. So,
yeah,
because I'm going to ask you, obviously, what the genesis of effing, right? So, Lee, are you back?
I'm back, and go ahead and start on a 5 count of quiet.
Fantastic. Welcome to the Brown Cow Nugget episode. We're still doing giving back. That's right. This month is all about organizations and charitable organizations that are giving back to the community, doing something positive, putting energy back into the universe that's actually helping people, and we need that as much as possible. And I think we need that more now than any time. I have Kitt on the phone with me. She's helping me understand what the Effing Foundation is. Hi, Kitt.
Hello. Thank you so much for having us on.
Well, thank you. Kitt, before we start with the effing, because the name of it just makes me snicker, who are you? What are you doing?
So my name is Kitt Stubbs. I am a non-binary queer maker and entrepreneur. I actually have a PhD in robotics from Carnegie Mellon. This is not exactly what I thought I would be doing with my degree. I will tell you. But I have but the Effing Foundation, so we're a 501c3 nonprofit, and our mission is to reduce sexual shame and normalize conversations around human sexuality, I think much like you all do on this podcast. And in particular, we're interested in fostering sex-positive art and education. And we're trying to be really inclusive of folks, promoting all kinds of sexuality education and artistic expression of sexuality through programs that are inclusive of women, people who are members of gender or sexuality or relationship minorities, people of color, people of size, and people with disabilities. And so we're trying to help increase knowledge about human sexuality and sex positivity as a way to promote sexual literacy, health, and wellness eventually worldwide. So that's what we're trying to do.
You just gave me goosebumps. I'll just say it that way. I just, woo! That's awesome. I'm glad you're picking up the mantle and trying to move the positivity down the line and you know, not just normalize, but actually educate and push and pop those bubbles of ignorance where you can and take away demystify all that stuff. So that's amazing. But you have a snickery title in your name. You don't get me wrong. I'm sitting here just tittering over it because I think it's funny as hell. Where did Effing Foundation come from?
Well, so I've been actually working on this for probably 5 or 6 years. I actually got into sex positivity by making my own very nerdy sex toys. So my first toy is called the TARDIS Tickler. It is a dildo that has a teeny tiny TARDIS suspended inside it. Because I am that kind of nerd. And then I created the Hammer, which is this light up dildo some folks may have seen on the internet. And so I'm like doing all this really hilarious engineering and crafting. And so I start meeting all of these great, you know, educators and artists and people who are running workshops and giving talks and other crafters. And I'm like, oh, you know, this is amazing. We need more of this. And at the time, and this was, you know, like I say, 5-6 years ago, you couldn't put this on Kickstarter or Indiegogo. And so I was like, okay, you know, what are we going to do? So at first I thought I was going to be building like a sex positive crowdfunding site, and I start working on that. And then I sort of realized, you know, it's not just about me being able to manufacture my toy. Like, that would be great. I hope to do it at some point. But really, you know, I thought I could make a bigger impact if I started a nonprofit organization that could help basically raise money and give grants to these folks, because this kind of work, I'm sure you know, in sexuality is really hard to get funded.
Exactly.
Really hard to get funded. And so that's basically the battle that I've slowly but surely, like one form at a time, one government form at a time, you know, striving to get there. And so the name, oh my goodness, I am really bad at naming things. And so names are hard, right? Good names are hard. And so like as a joke, I was like, oh, we should do, you know, I should just call it the Effing Foundation. Well, like a year later, I didn't have anything better. Like that was it. And so I tried, you know, we wanted to get the domain. So we are at effing.org. And that involved kind of politely cyber-stalking Mr. Christoph Effing of Germany, who had owned that domain for like 10 years, but he was really only using it for email. Like he wasn't really doing anything on the web. And fortunately, I was able to find a donor who was willing to help me cover the cost to offer to buy it from him. And once I offered some money, then he was willing to talk. So I was like, oh, you know, he's like, is this because my name is like kind of like a joke in English? And I was like, yeah. But he's supported. He was very supportive of our mission. And so yes, we are now the Effing Foundation at effing.org. And it's great. I think the joke will never get old. Like I try not to overuse it. But no, it's yeah, I'm silly like everybody. Like it's not getting old.
Well, just like our name, Brown Chicken, Brown Cow. I've put humor and laughter and entertainment into almost everything I've ever done. So the Brown Chicken, Brown Cow is a play on the old porn sound, right? You know, what's the sexiest animals in the barnyard? Brown chicken, brown cow. So that's where we got ours from.
Oh, that's right. But I think sex can be such a serious, like it's like, oh, it's so serious. Like we don't talk about it, and we do. It's like scary and serious. It's like no, you know. I think you clearly recognize that, like no, like sex can be fun. It can be silly, right? It's messy. You learn. Absolutely. It takes practice. And so the Effing Foundation very much recognizes that we can have some levity as we sort of educate folks.
Well, that is fantastic. So you're handing out grants to people. You're helping other organizations. What else?
That's the
are
plan,
you doing?
both individuals and organizations. So right now we are actually raising money for our first round of pilot grants. So we have 8 projects that we've selected, mostly run by people of color, a lot of queer folks represented, kinky folks represented. And so our goal is basically to raise $40,000 so we can give 8 $5,000 pilot grants. We're working with some organizations that have maybe gotten some funding before, and I'm also talking to artists who have like literally never written a grant before, right? And we were able to reach out to them and say, hey, your work is important. Like, this needs to happen. And that's just been it's been amazing. I'm very thankful. It won't really be real until I actually have the money and I can write the checks.
Exactly.
But
well,
we're getting there.
Let's see if we can't get some more people on board and helping you out a little bit. If you want to support the Effing Foundation, as I stumble over my words, I'm going to say that again. If you want to support the Effing Foundation for Sex Positivity, where do they need to go? What do they need to do?
Just go to effing.org. And there should be a donate button there, and that we would certainly love your support at any level. Like I say, monthly donations are particularly valuable, even if they're in smaller amounts, because that makes it easier for us to plan. But really, anything is welcome. We also have a monthly newsletter. Just one time a month, we send out an email, and that's the best way to get updates on what we're up to. So if now is not necessarily a good time for you to give, that's totally fine. But yeah, subscribe to the newsletter because we'll keep you posted. We hope to run eventually a couple of rounds of fundraising and grant making a year. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We're a fairly young organization. We're a fairly small organization, but we're thrilled for the support, and we're very excited to get started.
Well, fantastic. Kitt, thank you for coming on the air with us today. I know we're going to be reaching out to you again for future episodes because I've already fallen in love with your voice and your energy. So we'll have you back on and talk about other things like the art and stuff like that. In the meantime, like I said, check out the Effing Foundation. This is Monkey. Be good to each other. We'll be back in another week or so. Check us out. Go to all the things. Do all the things. See you later. And that's it.
Thanks, guys.
Yay!
I'm sorry I've been off more than on. I don't know what's going on.
No worries. Well, and again, thank you all so much for reaching out. Like I say, I really